This is huge for Derrick White as he is proving his haters wrong as he dominated in the second game of Olympic play versus South Sudan and proving to everybody why he deserves to be on the team. Additionally, Jayson Tatum finally gets some run as well, and Jrue Holiday also looked to have some bright spots. So we're going to be diving in and looking at the adjustments that Steve Kerr made versus this South Sudan team and how it led to this success in this rematch from the exhibition where they truly bounced back. All of that and more on this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Velez. You guys have been absolutely killing it, showing your guys support. We have a live stream coming up and right around 45 minutes at 6 o'clock as I'm recording this. So if you want to tune into that, get some more update on coverage and learn some more about the Boston Celtics, tune into that. But if you want to make sure you stay up to date on daily Celtics coverage, hit that like button to stay in the algorithm. Without further ado, let's dive into the topic at hand. Make sure to grab a snack. And the first topic that we're going to be talking about is Derrick White and how he balled out versus this South Sudan team for the Olympics. And Derrick White has been getting a ton of backlash since the start of last season. He was quoted by ESPN to not be a top 100 player. He clearly was, and we raged about it over here on Celtics Digest before the last season had even started. Then throughout the year, he looked and proved that his numbers were worthy of being an all-star bid, but players said that his name value wasn't as high, and Derrick White, a role player, is really going to be an all-star. And then, when he was set to be the replacement for Kawhi Leonard, no one batted an eye, no one freaked out, but once Kawhi Leonard was taken back and sent back to the US, and Derrick White was replacing him, outroar started coming out from NBA Twitter, from NBA fans. Who is this Derrick White guy? Why is this role player getting to be on this team? There are so many other better players that could be on this Team USA roster. And it's due to the fact that the role that Derrick White presents for this USA team. He's a scrappy defender alongside Jrue Holiday. He's going to play defensive first, but if he is open, if he's guaranteed that wide open shot, he is going to hit it. And Celtics fans have seen this all throughout this year, but it's now becoming a global thing for fans across the world to see. But now NBA fans who are living in Minnesota or maybe LA or maybe even in Texas who haven't seen Derrick White play every single night to truly realize how great Derrick White can be and why this contract that Derrick White signed at this extension before he even went to the Olympics was a steal. Brad Stevens is a mastermind. Let's not forget, he got Derrick White for Romeo Langford and Josh Richardson. Come on. Derrick White has clearly proven to be a better player than both of those combined and is still getting there to this day. Let's look at the stats from today's game, clearly showing. First, we're going to dive in. Tatum becoming obviously a starter, but let's look at Derrick White's stats tonight. 3 for 3 from the field as well, with 3 total steals, helping out the stock exchange and getting some big time blocks as well. He got 1 big block, and that was shown obviously in the picture there. But yeah, Derrick White really contributing, really helping out with this team, playing a do-it-all role, and that's seemingly how he's been able to fit in with this Team USA team really effortlessly at this point. Basically, the fact that he presents this kind of role on the Celtics where he's working off ball, he's playing off of guys like Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown, it's very easy for him to play off of guys like LeBron James or Kevin Durant or even Steph Curry at that point because he's used to that role on the Boston Celtics, used to taking the wide open shot, used to getting gifted these fantastic opportunities. But if he is needed to take it in his control in his own hands, he will. He had a nice little alley-oop pass as well to I think it was Bam Adebayo and a nice lob. And him and Bam were truly the best 2 players, I think, for Team USA in today's matchup alongside Devin Booker. I think these 3 guys really showcase and prove to us how impactful they could be. And in this second unit, guys like Derrick White and Bam Adebayo really came through in leading this success for this team. Really excited to see Derrick White put on this show and kind of prove everybody wrong, prove his haters wrong, and show to the rest of the world and NBA fans in general why he is deserving of being on this NBA team, why he's deserving of being an all-star next season, and how he could possibly, I think he could be, on any team, their second or third best player and still help this team lead them to the playoffs. He's fantastic on the defensive side, can hit wide open threes, and he never gives up. He got an illegal screen set to the back from him and then immediately comes down, chasing down, and forces a steal on the other end on the next possession. Those are the effortless plays that you love to see out of Derrick White and why Celtics fans truly love him. Let me know your guys' thoughts on Derrick White down below in the comment section, how you guys have been thinking he's been playing, and how he could be utilized with this team as well. Let's get into the next part, talking about another player that was on this Olympic team in Jayson Tatum and him finally getting to play. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Like we mentioned in our last video, or a couple videos ago, we kind of were freaking out, had our honest reaction of, this is ridiculous. Jayson Tatum goes from being on an NBA champion, being one of the number 1 or 2 option on that team, depending on how you view it, to then getting a DNP from a coach's decision, not because he's ill, not because he's hurt, Now, Steve Kerr answered to that call and inserted him right in the starting lineup alongside Anthony Davis, who had not started for Team USA, and how Team USA fans have been calling for him or Bam Adebayo to start since the exhibitions. But nope, Jayson Tatum gets the call, and Steve Kerr, who hilariously was talking, oh, we're only going to play 10 players. We're only going to play 10 players. Well, if you can look at the box score, you can see that Steve Kerr clearly lied, because guess what? They played 11. They played 11. They're not sticking to their 2 10-man lineups. Oh, everybody's going to be switching in between. We're going to have 2 10 lineups, one bench, one not. Nope, nope, nope. Steve Kerr was just lying, because today, unfortunately for Sixers fans, Joel Embiid didn't get to play. Now, Joel Embiid has had a lot of knocks, and this is not a knock video on Joel Embiid, but through this FIBA tournament and through the World Cup qualifying and through the exhibitions and stuff like that, has had his knocks of his, foul playing and how he seemingly can fit in with this roster. And today, it looked a lot better without him, but ultimately, still at this point, DMPs to these players is absolutely ridiculous. Steve Kerr can find ways for all 12 guys to play at least 5 to 8 minutes, and he seemingly should do so regardless of how the team's playing. Versus South Sudan today, yes, there were runs where South Sudan made it a little bit close, but they were up 10, 15 at that point. Most fans knew it was basically out of the ways, and in the fourth quarter, in the last couple minutes, Team USA basically did put it out of ways. In the fourth quarter, there was no really seemingly coming back to life, no really scare here. Now, Jayson Tatum, going back to Jayson Tatum, did not have the greatest performance for Team USA today, unfortunately. Even though he did start for the team, did shoot 50% from the field, but did have 5 total rebounds and 2 total assists with a block and 4 total points. Like I mentioned, not the greatest offensive performance from Tatum today, but right when he got the ball, starting off the game, instead of going at a contested layup over 2 guys, made a nice bounce pass down low to Anthony Davis, who went up with the easy layup and got the scoring for Team USA basically started at that point. So Tatum was making smart plays, making smart reads, being in the right spots, and that's what you ultimately want to ask for out of him. The shot's not going down, it's A-okay. There's a bunch of other offensive creators that are there, but Tatum can still be valuable on the defensive side, can still be a viable rebounder, can still be a viable playmaker, and I think that's what was the main head scratcher for Celtics fans and people around the world watching Tatum not getting played, because even if he isn't the greatest offensive creator, and yeah, Durant's out there and Booker was out there creating and scoring in his place, a guy like Jayson Tatum can still help you out on the defensive side and can still help you out in other areas. So I think that's where the confusion was. Ultimately, Tatum, not the greatest performance today, but at least he did get to play for Team USA, and that's something that Celtics fans are happy about. So let me know what you guys think down below about that. And then lastly, the last topic that we are going to be mentioning and breaking down is Jrue Holiday, as he contributed as well for this Team USA squad. Now, Holiday um, was not in the starting lineup as well. He was removed from the starting lineup alongside Joel Embiid for Jayson Tatum and Anthony Davis. Now, Holiday is still absolutely money from that corner shot, as we saw hit his only 3-pointer today from that corner. But Holiday, once again, doing his work and doing his intangibles that he does for the Boston Celtics team, seemingly here for Team USA as well. We know Holiday was brought in for his defensive ability, and alongside Derrick White, they are the 2 main guys that are brought in for defense on this Team USA squad. But before before White was brought in, Holiday was meant to be that playmaker, that defensive beast, that facilitator, that guy that's going to take their best player and guard it, regardless if he's 6'2" or if he's 6'8". Holiday is taking that matchup, and we've seen that throughout the Olympics here. And Holiday has done fantastic on the defensive side, but honestly, his overall offense has been great as well. We saw in game 1 him have 15 points today. Maybe not as much of an impact on the offensive side, but there were other players who did step up offensively. Players like Bam Adebayo and Anthony Edwards, who really, really did, have some decent scoring points. So ultimately, Jrue Holiday not having the best offense performance is okay, because he's not brought in to do that. He's brought in there to be that nasty, tenacious defender that we've seen on the Boston Celtics. So overall, Holiday and White, main focal points of last game in game 1, and still coming into game 2, were key integral points of how this Team USA did succeed. So ultimately, when looking at this squad, looking at Holiday, looking at White, looking at Tatum, all of them have a part of this function to make Team USA be the best that they can. And with Team USA getting this one and clinching a berth to the quarterfinals, it only looks like that they're going to be able to experiment and get to see that more coming, which is fantastic for Team USA and hopefully for the quest for gold. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Like I mentioned, we will have a live stream going out right after this video at 6 p.m. Eastern to discuss Olympic talk, to discuss possible final roster spot, and answer all questions about this Boston Celtics team. So if you have any questions, want to get them answered, come join the stream if you're finish watching this video. If not, no worries. We have those streams coming weekly starting on Wednesdays. We're bringing them back, so we will be having those streams weekly Wednesday nights. I'll keep you guys updated on that. If you want to get any more information on Celtics Digest or Celtics in general, check out the links in our description to follow us on Twitter and to check us out in the Discord to be a part of the community that is there as well. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Velez. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your day, and go Boston Celtics!